Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my cave with this is a super quick one-day build. I don't think any one-day build has ever been faster than what's about to happen, but it's a philosophical construction. I talk about organization here in the shop a lot, and we tend to think of organization as places to put things. That is one way to organize, is to have places to put things, without a doubt. But organization also has to do with the efficiency of the mind. So a tool that tells you which end to use or which orientation to use it in is helping to organize your thoughts in terms of how to use that device. Does that make sense? I'm basically widening the definition of organization to mean more than just a place to put everything, and to include information in organization. So for me, when recently I built this sandpaper sorter. And I had a sandpaper sorter. I already had one, and it lived over here. But that was the problem. Every time I needed sandpaper, I had to reach behind my disc sander. And it took me years to get around to realizing I don't want to work so hard to get sandpaper. I use it every single day. So the other day, yesterday in fact, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make one half as high and twice as wide. I'm going to put it here on top of the drill press, because this is where I'm going to come for it. This is where it's going to happen. Yeah. So this is both about organization from a sandpaper has a place to go standpoint, but also organization from a when I need something, is it where I need it to be? So it's not just about where things go. It's not just that things have a place to go, but the place that they go is efficient. So that, I think, is making the distinction about organization in terms of a knowledge standpoint and in terms of an object standpoint. Moving on. This is my milling machine. And I recently took the vise off, so the vise hasn't been trammed in. And part of tramming it in is tightening these little bolts. And I have many of them. It is what kind of bolt is this? Is this a 1/2 inch? Let's see here. Hang on. Yeah. So the standard clamping kit of a Bridgeport mill uses 1/2 inch 13 hardware, and there are all threaded parts of various sizes to allow me to connect from T-nuts over to clamps, etc. So the vise isn't the only thing that I clamp onto this table. The table has T-slots built into it. A T-slot is called such because this is what goes in the bottom, and it's in the shape of a T. But I digress. I use these bits of 1/2 inch 13 clamping hardware constantly on the mill. I am constantly tightening and loosening. And I have a wrench here just for that. And this wrench is great. It is a ratcheting wrench. It's got a big end and a small end. I only ever use the big end because this is the, what is it? This is a 7/8 wrench. That's what activates all this 1/2 inch hardware. However, I have this issue. With this wrench. I need both hands for this, so give me a sec. There we go. Okay. I have an issue with this wrench, which is it's never obvious which way I should have it for tightening or loosening. It's chrome on both sides. From an organizational standpoint, this is a disorganized tool because when I pick it up, it's not obvious what orientation I should be holding it in to do the things I need to do. And I've been thinking about a solution for a while, and then I came up with it, and it's really freaking simple. I'm going to paint one side of this wrench red, and the wrench will be the tightening side. So I will know every time I pick it up at a glance if I'm holding the tool in the correct orientation. Now, why is this so important? Who cares? It's important to me Because what I've noticed is even that little bit of time I lose going, oh, even that little bit, that 5 seconds, it pulls me out of the flow. And it's not like it pulls me all the way out of the flow by any stretch of the imagination. But what I notice is each time it happens, I think to myself, I wish that didn't happen. I wish that hadn't happened. I would like those 5 seconds back. Again, this is how impatient I get when I want to make something work. But then I thought to myself, and there are plenty of things that I do every day that I can't make more efficient because there's just the way things happen. There's some things you just can't speed up. But when I examined this wrench and thought, is there a way to speed this up and not end up in the same situation? The answer is yes. I make one side of this red and then I don't have to worry anymore. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to make one side of this, the tightening side. Right. So the side that I am looking at when I'm tightening it, lefty loosey, righty tighty. This side will be red. So first I'm going to clean it, then I'm going to prime it, then I'm going to hit it with some of this. Oh, I thought this was paint, but it's chalk marking spray, which is decidedly not paint. I have some red paint. So I'm basically going to prep this surface, mask it, paint it, try it out. I found my paint. Rust-Oleum High Performance Enamel, 15-minute drying time. It is made for impatient people just like me. All right, let's get started. I'm just going to clean this up with a little acetone, kind of clear off all the dirt and grime. That's the only side I'm painting, so that's the only side I'm going to worry about here. I do want to tooth this up to receive a little bit of paint. So I'm going to use some of this gray Scotch-Brite, which is the only thing I've found that can actually mark chrome. And I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of this. Yeah, you can see that it's really, it's definitely given me some small markings, and those small markings will translate to grippage for the paint on the metal. A little note. When you are masking and you want to make sure your edge is really precise, go ahead and grab a little skewer and go ahead and just like rub down the very edge of that tape where it's, make sure it's going where you want it to go. It's not really necessary on this build. This wrench is going to get the crap beaten out of it, but trust me on that one. You totally want to do that right at the edges where the masking tape is. And now, yeah, let's see here. Oh yeah, Adam Savage makes his own masking, 1-inch masking tape. Oh, all right, let's see here. Will I be able to do this? I kind of want to do it like this. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, look at that. This is helping me out right now. I don't have to do this. This wrench would work just fine even if I didn't do this and like block off the actual turning part of the wrench. But you know what? I want it to look nice. So I'm just going to take the extra time and make it nice. Great. 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 There's one. Now, the other. Okay. Now we have our wrench. It is masked. It is toothed. It's time for prime. Primer, 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 primer. Hey, Taylor, of Taylor Tries. I've seen people juggle swords and cut things in midair, but what about juggling cans of spray paint and also spray painting something at the same time? Wow! Taylor is a juggler. You can check out her YouTube channel. We'll include a link in the comments below. Taylor Tries. She's an amazing, amazing juggler and also an excellent human being. I'm here to express that this Rust-Oleum red paint, this stuff, that is a beautiful red. That is a really nice, luscious fire engine red. It is not quite dry. I've been using the blow dryer on it. It's going to take a little bit longer. But yeah, it's a really, what is wrong with my hair? It is a really, really, I like this red. It is not the red that's on the lid. This red has more blue in it. It's much more of what your mind thinks of as a fire engine. All right, the wrench is dry. It's time to do the unpeeling. This is one of my favorite parts. I'm gonna give you a close-up so you can really enjoy it alongside me. Let's pull these off first. Oh, look at how nice that looks. That extra bit of time I take, it made a difference. All right, now we're gonna grab it off the outside edge here. Where does it start? Excuse me. All right, I'm just going to start by, hang on. Excuse me. There we go. I got something caught in my throat. Oh, like Christmas every time. Look at that. See? I took the extra time, and now it looks like a kind of an industrial tool. We're going to make a couple. We're going to make one more modification to it. We're going to put my name on it. I like to put my name on all the tools. There we go. And I think that would do it. Yeah, there we go. I was just imagining that I did it the wrong way. Because one of the things I have learned about the world is that if I want to know what to do about something, well, how do I say this? I'm trying to be too broad. If you want to know where to put something, ask yourself, where would I look for it if I needed it right now? And your very first answer is where you should put it. When I was thinking about a way to make this wrench more understandable to me, the question was, well, what clearly I could paint one side, but which side should I paint? And my first thought was red for tightening. I don't know why, but that's what occurred to me, and that's what I did. However, I've had so many projects in which I went through all this rigmarole and then peeled off the tape, and it turned out that I'd done it backwards. Thank God I didn't do it that way. Labeled it with my name, and I'm going to take it over to the mill and put it in its new home. Here we go. So now my tightening wrench, which only tightens when you're looking at red and loosens when you're looking at chrome, it's going to live right here. Right there, by the side of the mill. Yep. And now I have organized something in which I have not moved its location at all. But I think we'd all agree that my wrench is now more organized than it was when I started this one-day build. That's a way to think about efficiency in a shop. And it hadn't occurred to me to make that distinction until I was talking about why I wanted to make the wrench red. It's pretty cool. All right, that wraps up this one-day build. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you next time. Stay safe.